I got a question. Do you think it's okay for little kids to rock dreadlocks? And I'm not asking, do you think it look good, or do you think it's dope that little kids have dreadlocks and they look good and cool with it? No, that's not the question. Do you think it is okay for little kids to rock dreadlocks? Hey, and here on Locked In with Trey, we gonna get into it. Now, you don't have to have kids to talk about this subject or to have your own opinion about this subject. I just want to know, because me personally, I think it's cool, but there are some things about it that kind of give me the red flag. And one of those red flags is the maintenance, especially if you have like a young toddler like me. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and man, if she had locks like mine, it would be crazy. It would be dirty, dirt, candy, you name it. You know how kids are. So I don't know how it would be for her to have locks. And keep in mind, she's 2 years old, so I cannot imagine how it would be once she starts school. She's not even in school yet. So once she get around people her age in a school district, that is gonna be crazy, because you know how kids are. They like to pull hair. Some of them even like to cut hair. And boy, and do all that stuff that you are afraid of as a parent to happen to your kid in the first place, let alone your daughter. And you know, hair is everything to girls. So man, I don't know about the whole lock thing. Me and my wife were talking about it, and we were thinking like maybe we could probably start her some locks, you know, as she get a little older, and kind of make that decision for herself, because starting it at a too young age, I don't know if that's gonna be for us. But that's my opinion, that's my household, that's the way we're running it. But I am not opposed to kids having locks. It's just to each his own. You know, how you run your household is how you run your household. 100% respect that. And you know what I mean, just know that that maintenance is gonna be something terrible. It's gonna be something drastic. And don't get me wrong, a newborn baby, you ain't gotta worry about no locks being on no newborn baby. Ain't nobody doing that unless it's a wig or something like that. I don't know of anybody that has a newborn that got locks. If y'all know somebody, comment it down below. I need to see this link. I need to see this video, picture, or whatever. If you got somebody that you know that has a child that's less than 1 that has locks, I need to see those pictures, because that's crazy. And speaking of kids going to school with locks, think about the peer pressure. And you know, when you were a child, all that peer pressure and your friends and family and all of this stuff weighs a whole lot than when you are an adult. Don't get me wrong, there's some sensitive adults out there, and that peer pressure still gets to you. But when you are a child, that peer pressure is crazy heavy for a child to carry all by themselves. But you have to do it as a child. That's part of your fundamentals of growing and becoming an adult and doing all that stuff. But you got to think about it, man. Like, what if they go to school and then people are talking about them because they're some of the only people that's rocking locks, and then they start to not like their hair at all. And now you got to go through the process like, man, that's a big commitment to cut your hair, because you've waited, let's say you in the 5th grade. Well, if you make it to the 5th grade, you probably in there. You probably committed a little bit more than a toddler is at that point. But just think about the amount of peer pressure that somebody that age has to go through. And you don't want to have to backtrack all them years. Even though you're still young, you don't want to have to backtrack all them years from growing your locks out, and now you want to cut them and you looking bald headed for the yearbook picture. You don't want that, because now you really getting talked about, because kids, they have no filter at all. They are some of the honest people on the planet. The little people of the world, kids, hey, I salute y'all for being brave enough to say what's on your heart and say what's on your mind, because some people, they need that in their life, and other people, man, let's just say kids are totally honest, and sometimes that could be brutal, especially when you are a child trying to fit in with a group, because you know, as a kid, you're gonna try to fit in. And the locks may have been your parents' idea because they wanted you to have them, maybe because they have them, and you was cool with it at first, but as you grew up, you kind of fell out of the love of it because of all the peer pressure you got from your peers around you. And yeah, that can be tough. But comment down below, let me know what y'all think about kids, and should they have locks at a young age. But moving on. And another thing that I kind of touched on in my last video, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. I'm gonna run it up across here. But the long commitment for a child, this is very, very important because kids' attention span does not last long at all, man. I'm telling you, they could be loving something 1 minute and doing something totally different the next minute. And when it comes down to growing locks as a child, that's a pretty big commitment. And I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. I'm not sure if I'm ready for my daughter to be that way either. Now that's crazy. I think I'm gonna let her get a little older because that's a big decision. And with anything that's big like that, like getting your first tattoo, getting your ears pierced, I don't care if you're a boy or a girl, I feel like that should be something that you leave to your kids to decide when they get of age. Because if you let them decide when they're younger, or you decide for them when they're younger, that's kind of taking away their freedom to decide when their mind is more developed, when they know what they want, when they've seen some of the world, a little bit, and they're able to make that decision to be like, hey, okay, I want dreadlocks now. Hey, I want my first tattoo. Hey, I want my ears pierced and all that, you know what I mean? Because it's their life. And there's a lot of life decisions that you'll have to make when you get older. And I feel like those are some of them in my opinion. In my opinion, for my household, my daughter, I think I'm going to let her get a little bit older for her to say, hey, I want this, I want that. And if it's cool, hey, I'm supportive. But if I know it's something that's going to be life altering, I'm be like, well, let's take a step back and look at it for a minute, because the decision that you're about to make is going to change a lot of things around you. If you are okay with that, if you're willing to stand on your 2 feet about that, hey, more power to you. But if you're not, and as a parent, I've watched you grow up, I've seen your character, and I see your development, and I feel like I know what's best for you right now. I'm not going to hinder you from growing, but before you make this decision, let's just look at it for a little bit. All I'm saying is I would really not like it for my daughter to get dreadlocks now, and then a few years down the road, like when she's maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, anywhere in between there, she decides she don't want dreadlocks no more, and now you bald headed. You came into the world bald headed, and now you want to go back bald headed and live under the same roof as me and think I ain't gonna say nothing. Bruh. Come on. The next thing you have to look at when it comes to kids having dreadlocks is the type of hairstyles that's out there. The different hairstyles that's gonna motivate them to want to get it. And see, with locks, you're pretty much in there. You're committed. There's really, so many hairstyles that you can do with dreadlocks and your hair still be lumped together, like locked in, you know what I mean? Like I said in my last video, if you locked in, you locked in. The only way you're gonna get rid of this is if you go through each one picking it out. And sometimes that could take a couple of months. So if you're ready for that, hey, more power to you. We're living in a time now where hair is everything, man. You see a lot more vibrant colors. You see different hairstyles. They even got wigs out. They got lock extensions. They got all this stuff. And I would really not like it for my child to be committed to dreadlocks and not be able to express their feelings and express what they like just because they had to commit to locks at a young age. And when I say young, I mean the parents made that decision for them. I'm not with hindering any type of growth development, however it looks. I want my child to be free to experience whatever they want to experience and learn from those experiences instead of being locked in at a young age when it was not their decision in the first place, and they go out and see these other hairstyles that they like and can't really rock them because they got locks, you know what I mean? And they had them since a young age, and now they got to cut off the locks and be bald headed for a little bit, or throw on a wig because you bald headed and then rock that. And that's no way to live, in my opinion. That is no way to live. I can't make those decisions for my children because, hey, I need them to be able to make those decisions for themselves. It could just be me, and I know this is just hair, but comment down below, let me know how you feel about kids having locks, man, because it can be a touchy subject. And I know just about every household like to run their household the way it is being ran. And they don't want any other person stepping in and showing them what they should do and what they think they should do. No, I respect anybody that is standing on their 2 feet about their household and the way you run your family. Period. But at the end of the day, I think dreadlocks are so dope. I don't care if they're on kids, young adults, old people, which are adults. I don't know why I separate the two, but they're elders. But yes, I love it, man. And I think starting a Loc journey is some of the dopest things that you can do because it challenges you. It teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you patience. It teaches you style and just finding yourself, stepping out of that traditional box, that traditional way that you might have grown up in, and experiencing something else for yourself. And without anybody, putting their 2 cents in, you stepping out on your own and starting your own thing and being you, being unique. And in my opinion, that's the best way to live, being yourself without having to worry about anybody else's opinion. As long as you got yourself and you know what you want to do with your life, go after it. But anyways, guys, that is it for this video. I just wanted to know what you guys thought about kids having locks at such an early age. And like I said, from toddler age up into elementary, you know what I mean? What do you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. And you already know what it is. It's your boy Trey Smith, bringing you love, peace, and prosperity forevermore throughout your life. Don't you forget it. And I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, peace.